a desert base. Truth don't hide, it just waits for a face, for a face. Footprints in a pine slick path. Bob Lazar files with a government laugh. Court dates lost in a sea of red tape. We ain't 10-4, we just stay awake. True crime tales in a borrowed voice. We speak for the silence, not by choice. Got boots on the dirt and eyes on the skies, digging up stories they hoped would die. Might, truth, and thunder, we don't back down. We're the Bible in the glove box and boots on the ground. Aliens, lies, and backroom deals. We break that silence, 'cause the soul feels real. Military broadcast, midnight run, teaching vets how to speak what the war's done. From trigger pulls to microphone stands, from combat zones to healing hands. Public records, missing names, unsealed files, classified games. We chase what's buried, not what trends, and we pray for light at the truth's deep end. Might, truth, and thunder, we don't back down. We're the Bible in the glove box and boots on the ground. Aliens, lies, and backroom deals. We break that silence, 'cause the soul feels real. Some chase fame, we chase the facts. Some fold quick, we read the tracks. It ain't paranoia if it's always been there, and we ain't scared to lay it bare. Into the storm. We ain't perfect, but we were made for this form.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Into the Weeds podcast here on Military Broadcast Radio. I'm Amber.
I'm Alora, and this is Oates.
And thank you for being here tonight. I had a very busy day yesterday and night. I was at a youth group lock-in until 8 o'clock this morning, so I am exhausted. I got like 3 hours of sleep maybe when I got home. So, yeah, if I look really tired, that's why.
And I have no interest in investing in today's youth, so I was sitting at home watching reruns of the Osborne. I was like 2 years old when that shit came out.
Yeah, you were really young.
Yeah, so anyway, but good times. But I hope that everyone is having a great day. Today is going to be our part 2 of the Amy Duggar King book,
Holy Disruptor.
That's what it's called again. Yeah. And hopefully we'll be able to get through the rest of the intro today.
The forward, yeah.
You guys know we're chronic yappers, so
yes, we are, and it's just what it is. And thank you, Teffy and Sam, for being here, and Michelle. I saw that you became a member earlier. So thank you for your membership.
We have a couple more member perks. I added a couple more of the emojis. Yeah, of the little stickers before we got on here. And I'm hoping to add some more. And hopefully we can start like doing some more stuff for our members. We've just had a lot going on the last few months. So it's just kind of
yeah.
But we appreciate your support regardless.
Yeah, and next week I'm going to be in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, we won't be able to do the show next week. I completely forgot about that. So yeah, I'll be in Atlanta at a missionary conference. ICOM is what it's called. And I'm going there on a fact-finding mission. So it'll be interesting this time. This is the first time where I've gone where I'm taking my notebook and taking some notes about what I actually see instead of just, going to a conference and digesting everything and believing everything I see. So
yeah, that's always good. So yeah, I hope you enjoy your missionary conference.
Yeah, I will. I'm going with my friend.
I might do. Never mind. I might do missionary while you're gone.
Laura Dietz.
Anyway, but anyway, moving on. I see that Sam is putting in the oats emoji in the chat. I found that when I was looking for something else, and I was like, that's the one. Everyone seems to be a big fan of him. He doesn't even realize that he's very slightly famous.
I love the little turd.
Yeah, I love him. So,
and earlier today we were on Para Women Radio. We were talking about the hidden true crime fiasco and the woman who was accused of a lot of terrible things. Christina released a video of her perspective from her Meta glasses. So that was interesting to see, and I'm interested to see what happens at CrimeCon next year.
No, absolutely. We won't have a booth this year, so we'll just we'll be able to actually observe and stuff. Plus, we're taking my dad, and he's really good at sussing stuff out.
Oh, so. Yeah, he can read a situation just by looking at somebody or talking to him for just a few seconds.
But I'm glad that he's going to Vegas with us because it makes you feel a lot safer going to Vegas. Because I want to have some fun. You know what I mean? Nothing too crazy, but
yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see this next year's perspective versus this year's.
So hair in my face.
Yeah. So that's what's going on right now. And I guess, do you want to get into
that sounds great. We need to just dive on in today because people aren't wrong when they say that we yap a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
No, that's so good. Okay. So if you haven't watched our first part, you didn't miss out on too much. We're doing the forward right now. It's kind of hard for me to tell how much longer is in the forward, but I'd say we're probably a good bit through. So anyway, it's a new part, new section. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it out. When spotlight hides the cracks. My cousins had so many rules to follow, and those rules were strictly enforced. Physical punishment happened for infractions, but it all took place behind closed doors. I never saw anyone get spanked, although my uncle spanked me once when I was a little girl during an innocent game of hide and seek for telling a white lie about my hiding place. In my defense, it was a game.
Wow.
That's crazy. My aunt carried a big stick or rod in the car with her children. Wow. Michelle, little soft-spoken Michelle.
Wow.
It sat up on the dashboard, and the name of the stick was Encouragement. I've heard that before, actually. There were at least half a dozen rubber rods around the house kept on display and ready for use by my aunt and uncle. They never spanked my cousins in front of me, but I saw the kids' eyes widen with Aunt Michelle when Aunt Michelle said, head tilted in her quiet, sweet voice, "Do we need some encouragement?"
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
The Duggars went on to become role models for millions of families, girls, boys, men, and women. They were showcased as the gold standard of Christian living, praised for their faith, honored for their family structure, and admired as the ideal example of godliness. They weren't just a well-known family. They provided the blueprint for how others were told to live, worship, and raise their children. Yet they knew about the horrifying events that had taken place before the television show 19 Kids and Counting ever got started. And the show was filmed anyway. The network was left completely in the dark. Actually, the first special that they ever did was just a special. It was called 15 Kids and Pregnant Again, I think. And I think it was just a few weeks after Josh had gotten back from, it was either right before he got sent to the camp or right after he got back from the camp.
That's wild.
Okay. The IBLP taught everyone to closely follow the rules and fear the consequences. My aunt and uncle preached godliness and modeled it on television for the world to see. But behind the scenes, certain issues were never dealt with. Instead of facing situations honestly, they hid, minimized, or ignored some things. As a result, people were hurt, some very deeply. The refusal to confront the truth didn't just impact my family. It left many others carrying the weight of that in silence, and the fallout is still being felt. Oh, that wasn't even the introduction.
That was just the forward.
That was the forward, and now we have the introduction. So did you have any thoughts on that? I mean, you guys used to spank me a little bit, but it wasn't anything like that. Like that's
no, like, and to
call encouragement.
To call the tool or the instrument of punishment encouragement,
and to threaten,
and have
scary.
them all over the place.
Yeah.
I just can't even imagine.
No, yeah, multiple rods. I mean, multiple children, but that's still insane. A dad only used like a belt or anything. I mean, maybe like twice in my entire life. Like it wasn't. Anyway, that's crazy. Some people take spare the rod, spoil the child very literally, unfortunately, it seems. So
yeah, it's disturbing.
And the fact that they were thought of as like the pinnacle of holiness and godliness. And even you guys were like, they take it a little far, but this is probably how you're really supposed to be. But little did anybody know.
Yeah.
Okay. Introduction. Getting louder. For years, my story has been told for me. I'm that Amy, crazy cousin Amy, the happy, spunky niece of one of the most famous families in America, the Duggars. For 10 seasons and 109 episodes as a featured member on the smash hit cable television show 19 Kids and Counting, I felt like I had no control over how I was presented to the public. My uncle Jim Bob Duggar wouldn't listen to me, and the network took orders directly from him. I wanted to scream from the rooftops, I'm not crazy or wild. Imagine a world where normal activities like wearing a bathing suit or going to the movies is considered a sin. This is what the patriarch of my family, my uncle, called ungodly behavior. Wearing anything bright yellow or black is wrong. Bright yellow. No one goes to what?
Well, and we covered the black thing last time, but we never talked about it. I wear black all the time. I remember one of the girls in the youth group, actually a couple weeks ago, she's like, oh, all black again. That's interesting.
She called you out. And like, the black thing's dumb. But like, I can understand, I can see what they're going for, but I don't even know what the yellow thing's about at all.
Maybe because in the past it's been associated with crazy.
Has it?
Yeah, back in the day, I know I used to hear, I don't know if it's true or not, but I used to hear that if your favorite color was yellow, you were schizophrenic. And I remember I really liked yellow at one point, and I was like, okay, well, if that's true, I've never had any evidence of it ever happening. So we'll see.
Those poor Simpsons family. Hi, Joy. It's a joy to see you. Okay. Okay, let's see. Wearing anything bright yellow or black is wrong. No one goes to college. Kissing is absolutely forbidden. Wearing shorts, even on the hottest days, forget it. I've never done drugs in my life, don't like to party, and don't have a police record. But because I was different from all of my cousins, I was considered the black sheep. I wasn't allowed to be myself and had to hide who I was if I had any hope of being accepted in my aunt and uncle's home. I loved going to the mall with my friends, having full-blown concerts in my ear, going to dances, and being adventurous. But Uncle Jim Bob's home, I was made to feel ashamed for being who I was, a normal teenage girl. Not only was I singled out and shamed, but I was lied to as well. I'm still trying to untangle the lies, some of them televised across the country and even the world, from the truth. Now it's finally time to tell my own story. It's not all black and white. My childhood was fun in a lot of ways, and I spent almost every single day with my cousins, from my oldest cousin, Josh, pushing us girls in the radio flyer wagon down a huge hill as we laughed and screamed with joy, to being surrounded by television crews under bright lights and traveling the world together. Doors were flung open to us because of the Duggar name. I have been told stories about my family by many different people, including my mom, family, and friends, and people in my community. My own memories are twisted and tangled threads of good and bad, fun and fear, order and chaos, love and pain, truth and lies, godliness and evil. There were painful, complicated moments where I felt uninvited, rejected, and too much or not enough, as well as moments that were loving, good, warm, and comforting. In a way, I miss the closeness of our Duggar family, but I do not miss the legalism or the judgment. This is the story of a little girl born into what would become a very famous family, but who had a deep heartache and trauma of her own that no one outside of her house knew much about. My aunt and uncle seemed to have a perfect family. Mine was anything but. This is also a story of escaping control, manipulation, and abuse from almost everyone close to me, as I fought to find out who I truly was. Getting to know myself and finding my voice took some time, but I finally discovered it, and I am no longer afraid to stand up for what is right. What I experienced throughout the years with my uncle and aunt and their 19 kids, along with my own grandparents and parents, has helped me grow into a truth seeker, a truth teller, and a holy disruptor. She said the thing.
Now, they have like 20 or 21 kids now, right?
The Duggars?
Yeah.
20?
I can't remember.
Well, because it was called 19 Kids and Counting, and then they had Josie.
Mm-hmm.
And Josie was the last one, and then she had a miscarriage, I believe.
Yeah.
Like,
In
so I think 20
between or
kids. And then I think they adopted a cousin or someone that's like related to them or
Oh, really?
or a family friend, one of the two. And yeah. And I think they still live with her. Yeah. Okay. My faith has been my anchor, guiding me through even the hardest moments. But that doesn't mean that this journey has been easy. In fact, it's been deeply painful because I've seen and experienced things that I know must grieve the heart of God. Watching people twist faith for their own gain, witnessing deception where there should have been truth, and feeling the weight of betrayal from those who claim to love God is heartbreaking. Yet, through it all, I've held on to the certainty that God sees, knows, and cares. Even when my heart aches, I find comfort in knowing that His love remains constant. As I navigate the wild seas of my life, the beautiful story of Jesus calming the wind in the rough waters deeply resonates with me, offering a powerful symbol of the peace He desires for every corner of our lives. Mark 4:35-41. Being a holy disruptor is all about standing up for the truth in order to break the trauma and toxic cycles in a family. It's about saying, this has gone on long enough and it stops with me. Though it can be costly to be a holy disruptor, I have learned to be filled with inner calm, and that comes only from knowing Jesus. As I continue to face the wind and waves, I am at peace, and I willingly stand against anything or anyone who breaks their heart of God. As you read on, you'll see that I'm not hiding anything under the rug. In fact, the rug has been completely pulled away. Settle in for a story that reveals a world of unrealistic expectations and manipulation, a world where I had to untangle a web of carefully crafted lies while fighting to protect my own mental health. It's a journey of breaking free from toxic cycles, confronting painful truths, and finding the faith to keep going. Consider this my unfiltered testimony, and if your story is anything like mine, I want you to hear this loud and clear. No matter what chaos or trauma you're experiencing, if you're willing to become a holy disruptor, sweet freedom is waiting to embrace you on the other side. I was always told, you were too loud, Amy. Well, folks, if you ask me, I haven't been loud enough, and I'm about to get even louder.
Cool.
Any thoughts?
No, I mean, I'm glad she put it together.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear what she's got to say. But like I said on the last show, I was watching some interviews of Amy with different people, and she literally is like the quintessential typical person or girl who's raised in Springdale, Arkansas at the time that I was there and living there. It's drastically changed since then. Even when I got out of the Army and we moved there and had a Laura, you know, it was completely different from when I lived there and Mary was my Sunday school teacher.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm interested to see how this all goes and what she says about Mary and everything. And Alora's helping me on a new intro and some thumbnails and stuff like that. So hopefully, you know, we'll spice it up a little bit.
We're trying. We don't get as many views unless we're talking about some breaking new gypsy info, but that's okay. We're just enjoying ourselves here.
Yeah, and I'm just here to learn with everybody else.
Yeah, we're just vibing, and we appreciate every single person that sits here and watches, and we're having a good time, no matter how big nor small the crowd is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for being here, by the way.
Thank you. Sorry. Every time I read, I like throat gets all like scratchy and I get sniffly. I have to burp all the time. So you guys are saints for putting up with me.
Hello, Lizbeth.
Hello,
and
Lizbeth.
Stacy came in too.
Hello to everyone. Also, yes, Joy, I have a new haircut. My friend, how do I say it? You know how I dressed up as Fiona the other day? I feel like I look like Lord Farquaad now, but you know what? It's fine. It looks kind of cute now, but like yesterday.
When she came home, I was like, what did you do?
It's cool. Hats and bandanas will be my new best friend for a few weeks. Okay. But like I was having real bad sensory issues. Like during the winter, I like shorter hair because especially if I'm trying to wear like a beanie or something, I hate I hate feeling. If I didn't think that would get weird looks, I would just shave my head bald right now because that's how bad like it just feels to have all that stuff going on.
Yeah, but then I can't imagine feeling it grow back in. That would be just
that'd be so cool. I love rubbing a bald head or a partially bald
a buzz cut.
No. Anyway. Well,
they all like your hair.
Thank you very much. Okay, chapter 1. How it all started. We're finally at chapter 1, guys. Only 2 episodes in. 19 Kids and Counting first aired on TLC September 29th, 2008. That was a day before my 8th birthday, or a day after my 8th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Following the daily life of my Uncle Jim Bob Duggar and my Aunt Michelle, along with their large and growing family, the Duggars became massively popular for their unconventional lifestyle that emphasized extremely conservative Christian values, homeschooling, and the challenges and rewards of raising a large family. An intact family with 18 well-behaved biological children who often dressed alike and felt rare and fascinating to many viewers. The show highlighted close-knit family dynamics with a focus on the children's roles in helping care for one another and the household. Strict adherence to religious beliefs, including the practice of courtship rather than dating, and strict modesty also attracted a large viewership and sparked curiosity. They were also well known for their hair. No matter what kind of weather we were having, not a strand of Uncle Jim Bob's or Aunt Michelle's hair was ever out of place.
They do use a lot of hairspray.
It must be hard to breathe in that house.
I bet.
It must smell in that house. 19 kids?
Yeah, I can't even imagine, especially with all those boys.
Oh. Yeah. My aunt's hair was iconic with big curls that bounced perfectly, courtesy of cases of Aquanet hairspray. I can still smell Aquanet hairspray just thinking of it.
Oh, yeah. Actually, as a matter of fact, being in Arkansas in the late 80s, early 90s, Aquanet was...
You did a high school science fair project.
Oh, I forgot.
And I only know about that because you made me do that in 4th grade. It was to see what hairspray had like the best like
area of coverage.
And I totally forgot about this until just now. But yeah, so you did it in like high school or junior high. I did it in 4th grade, and I can't remember all the sprays we used, but we had like 4 or 5 different ones, and we put like dye in it or something, and we sprayed it on the canvas to see like how much coverage it gave you.
Yeah, each one had a different color dye. And I actually did that in 9th grade, junior high in Springdale. As a matter of fact, we went to the University of Arkansas and did a state competition, and I won 3rd place in the science fair.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know what I placed. I remember walking around the science fair. I have a picture to sorry about the yapping again. Okay. I literally saw it earlier on accident. So I went through like an emo phase in high school, and I would use a lot of hairspray and like this teasing powder, but the teasing powder like would get everywhere.
I remember that.
And it would like get in my lungs, and it made my hair feel so bad. And the only reason why I ever stopped using it was because I had a crush on this boy, and he would play with my hair sometimes, and I didn't want my hair to feel nasty. He was 19 though, and I was 15, so fuck him. Okay, this is me.
I got my Tupac shirt on.
Yeah, I got the Tupac shirt on, the emo fringe, and then I also have a 5 seconds of summer phone case that you can't see. So I was all kinds of things.
I was in the 9th grade, And then she was in the 4th grade when she did.
Grade, yeah. So anyway, that was Alora as a teenager.
And yes, I can still taste the Aquanet.
Yeah, I can taste the Aquanet and the teasing powder that I would use. Like, it would get everywhere, and it got in my lung. Oh, my lungs are probably still messed up from that damn teasing
powder. My stepsister, she had, I think her bangs were like up to here. It was wild. It was crazy. She invested in as high as she could possibly get her bangs in the 80s.
You know what? I respect the hustle. Not me, though. Okay. Now it's hard for me to do my hair, and I'm like bad at doing my hair. And what the back of my head looks like, none of my business. Okay. Let's see. Strict adherence to religious beliefs, including the practice of courtship rather than dating, and strict modesty, also attracted a large viewership and sparked curiosity. They were also well known for their hair. No matter what kind of weather we are having, not a strand of Uncle Jim Bob's or Aunt Michelle's hair was ever out of place. Aunt's hair was iconic, with big curls that bounced perfectly, courtesy of Aquanet hairspray. The Duggars' wholesome image and the continuous arrival of new babies kept audiences tuned in, making the original show and its spin-off some of the network's most popular programs. But though everyone seemed to know who America's favorite family was, they were just my family. Their house became a sanctuary for me from my own chaotic home. I loved how everything felt well ordered, with my aunt's quiet, warm voice directing traffic, while quiet classical music filled the air. My cousins would be doing homework or taking care of their younger siblings. There was a lot of laughter in the house and a lot of work too. My grandma, who lived with my uncle and aunt, did all the laundry, 70 loads a week.
Holy cow. And she was already...
That's about how many loads a week we'd have to do if we got all of our laundry done.
That's, so she would have been pretty old by that time.
Yeah, she was looking pretty up there in age by the time she passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Folding. We also have a new Mary Duggar. We have a new Mary Duggar emoji. It's her holding 2 Nerf guns.
Oh, you just hit.
What did I do?
You hit the thing.
Oop, did I lose my spot? Okay, 70 loads a week, folding it and putting away with one huge family closet. Ooh. Okay. For meals every day, there was an assembly line, like at a buffet restaurant, and the older kids helped the younger ones fill their plates. Between meals, we played games for hours on the long dinner table. At 21 years old, I was a hardworking nanny caring for the children of some of the city's affluent families who knew they could trust me to protect their kids and invite a lot of fun into their homes. I had great references and kept busy with work, but I always made time for my cousins. The younger ones were so full of life. Sometimes I'd spend a whole day over there if they weren't filming. When 19 Kids and Counting first aired, I kept my distance and never really got involved in what was going on. But that didn't last long. One random Tuesday morning in 2008, I took off from work to drive to my cousin's house to pick up my grandma for an appointment. I drove down the road toward my aunt and uncle's house, with my windows rolled down and my 90s rock music blaring, without a care in the world. But as I approached their driveway, I turned the volume down to a whisper, knowing they wouldn't appreciate my sinful music. Mm-hmm. I punched in the code to the automatic gate and drove up to the driveway, taking in the fleet of open trailers full of camera equipment. The show was still new, but already consistently drawing a large audience of dedicated viewers for the network. Dang, I don't want to deal with this today, I thought. So I parked the car and called my grandma. Hey, they're filming, I said. I don't want to walk in on them. Can you just meet me outside? Filming the show had become the family's thing, a passion that had already consumed much of their time and energy. From the very beginning, I had no desire to be a part of it and never asked to join in. The constant presence of cameras along with the spotlight wasn't what I was searching for. I preferred my privacy and my unrecorded life happy to be normal, ordinary person. I'm a homebody at heart who values relationships and enjoys the simple things in life. I wasn't looking for any extra attention, but my grandma, the ever-persistent meddler, had a different idea. Sweetie, babe, I have a few things I need to get done, she replied. It might take a few minutes. Can you help me in my room? Please just come inside. I could tell that she had an agenda. And once she set her mind to something, there was no changing it. I adored her, but I also knew it was grandma's way or the highway with everything. She always chose where we ate, sticking to the places she liked, and if she had a particular idea for an outing, that's exactly what we were going to do. So when she told me to come inside my cousin's house, I knew there was no point in saying no. She would sit there all day, tapping her foot until I walked through that door. Okay, Mima. Reluctantly, I got out of the car and walked up to the house. Slowly, I turned the doorknob and went in, walking through the large house as quietly as I could. But to get to my grandma's room, I had to make it past my cousins and their parents, who were in the living room area, fully assembled on the L-shaped sofa, hands folded in choir position with cameras rolling. Everyone, including my Aunt Michelle, listened intently as Uncle Jim Bob announced that they were going to pick a chaperone for their oldest brother, Josh, because Josh and Anna were the new couple who had recently started courting.
Sounds like a setup.
Especially for Josh. God, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I loved my oldest cousin, who was just a year younger than me. I had grown up with Josh because my mother, Deanna, is Jim Bob's only sibling, and our families were close. But right now, I wasn't the least bit interested in being pulled into the chaperone selection process. I just wanted to get to Grandma's room and get out of that part of the house. I remained quiet, carefully making my way around the edges of the room as I aimed for my grandma's door, which was connected to the living room and accessed through a large laundry room leading to her side of the house. I waved to all my cousins while trying to be as silent as possible. As I tiptoed along, my uncle started drawing names from a hat. All the kids were so excited. They all wanted to be the chosen chaperone for Josh and Anna, mainly because it meant going somewhere fun and getting out of the house.
I bet.
I couldn't help myself. I laughed out loud just a little. I mean, how could I not? The idea that this engaged couple needed someone with them to ensure they didn't show any physical affection was absurd to me. To the Duggar family, kissing was the ultimate sin. Being flirty or touching of any kind was not allowed, except for an occasional awkward side hug. They weren't allowed to fog up any windows, if you know what I mean. One of the producers, Sean, heard my little chuckle and looked over at me. Who are you? I stopped. Oh, I'm just their cousin, Amy. I'm here to pick up Grandma. I'm so sorry if I'm interrupting your shot. I'm just trying to get to her room. Would you like to be the chaperone for Josh and Anna? He said. I laughed again and said, no offense to their beliefs, but I ditched my chaperone duties. I'd let them do pretty much whatever they wanted. I mean, after all, they are considered adults. I just think it's so wild that they're so like, let's watch Josh and Anna and make sure they're not up to any consensual activities.
Yeah.
But Josh, we'll just let you roam free.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
Funny how that works. Not funny, but interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The producer's eyes widened and he smiled, saying, you're going to be TV gold. Why don't you hop into the mix? What? Heck no, was my first reaction. I love my cousins, but I'm different. I have my own life. Also, I didn't really grasp what Sean meant or what being recruited onto the show would mean for me. I knew people watched the show, but I truly didn't understand how popular it was. I had no idea that there were already millions and millions of viewers. But I love my cousins, and I wanted to continue to be a part of their lives, even if that meant being on TV. In a daze, I made my way to Grandma's door. Plans have changed, I said. Grandma seemed more than happy to reschedule her appointment. And that's how I joined the show, all because of a quiet chuckle. And slowly, over time, I became a featured character front and center. After that episode, I was invited to film episodes with my uncle, aunt, and cousins the entire week. I loved it because each week brought a new adventure. I love being spontaneous. I never knew what I would be doing next, and the schedule could change at a moment's notice. I didn't have a set filming schedule. I just knew that Tuesdays and Thursdays were devoted to whatever they needed me for. So I began to take those filming days off from my job. You know, if I remember correctly, I think she had like a spinoff special where she went to like Nashville and she was trying to become a country music star and it didn't work out.
I heard she was she had like a singing career.
I remember watching the special.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I used to watch the Duggars all the time when I was little. Like, you guys would be in bed and I'd like get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I would watch the Duggar stuff and it was like, my mom knows them, even though you didn't really know them. And you like wanted me to like get married to like Josiah. And I feel like I said that in the last one, but that's the one that everyone thinks he's gay.
Whenever I had no clue what was going on.
I don't think you even watched it as much as I did.
No, I did not. I occasionally, if I saw Mary on there, I would stop and be like, oh,
Mary, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I watched it like all the time. Because I was homeschooled, so I didn't have to go to school or anything. But I wasn't homeschooled in the way that they were. I was homeschooled as in I didn't finish a single class in the 3 years that I was homeschooled.
She says that like she didn't. What she means is she didn't finish a whole course. Like we didn't get through the whole book or whatever. But then they would take tests on it and they would pass. They were perfectly fine. Anyways. And she only did homeschooling in
6th, 7th, and most of 8th grade until we had a little conversation.
I don't even know.
I don't think you want me to share that.
I don't know what happened, but we'll talk about it later.
I'll tell you later.
I forget everything. So yes, Joy, I forget everything.
I was traumatized. Anyway, okay. At first I felt strange with Hughes. Sorry.
You never know what you're gonna get here.
At first I felt strange with huge cameras looming all around me. A boom microphone at the end of a long metal arm hovering above my head, and a microphone wire tucked underneath my shirt with a battery pack shoved into my back pocket. The mic itself was taped on the inside of my top. I was instructed by the producer not to look at the cameras, to pretend they weren't even there, and not to draw any attention to myself in any way. To my surprise, ignoring the cameras came naturally to me, partially because the film crew was down to earth and hilarious. They made me feel at ease. In this strange new world, I felt welcome and loved them all. But let's be honest, if you watch the show, you know that I stuck out like a sore thumb. My medium-length hair, not long and cascading like my cousins, distressed jeans, gasp, and a graphic t-shirt proved that I didn't quite fit in with the squeaky clean image of my other family members portrayed. And she's still like super conservative.
Yeah.
And she was just scandalous. Ratings spiked whenever I was on the show, so my camera time began to grow. My bouncy personality also quickly earned me a memorable nickname, Crazy Cousin Amy. At first I pushed back. Can I just be Cousin Amy? I asked Uncle Jim Bob. Why does the word crazy have to be in my title? Would you like the word crazy to be associated with your name? Oh, Amy, we're just adding in a little fun. Don't worry about it, he said with a laugh, dismissing my concerns. But after the first episode, I knew the nickname was going to stick. I hate to break it to you, but the crazy cousin Amy you knew from television was just a character that they made me out to be. It's not the real me. Sure, I can be bubbly and my personality is breezy and carefree, but there's so much more to me beneath the surface. I have a moral compass that guides me. I'm strong in my faith, and I'm not a wild soul meandering aimlessly through life. I didn't know how to stand up for myself back then, and I never really had learned how to fight for what I needed or protect my boundaries. So I often found myself shrinking in difficult situations. That was real and it still is real today. I enjoy making people laugh and spreading joy to those around me. I'm a person of depth and substance and a seeker of truth, even the hard truths. That is the Amy that I wish I could have shown to the world. Even so, I'm proud of the journey that brought me to this place of self-awareness and strength.
Okay, so what was your interpretation or your perspective on Amy as a kid watching it?
Well, I was a kid. I thought she was like me, just like me for real. No, I mean, obviously she was an adult and I was like 12, but like I thought she was just a normal Christian girl. And they called her. I was pretty aware of the situation. I mean, like not to the extent that I am now, but it was like, yeah they're a little much.
They're playing up
and
on.
She's just normal.
Yeah. Yeah, and when I saw her, and especially when I would see her on screen with Mary, they seemed to really have great chemistry together. They laughed, and it just seemed like she was very much just like her grandma,
Well, it seems like her grandma was more like Anna.
Well, I don't know. We'll get into it. So.
I've listened to some of it. I've heard some excerpts, but yeah. Anyway, Mary's in the chat. I put no. No. She's not.
Like, what?
She's in the grave, unfortunately. But no. I
was like, is somebody in here pretending to be?
No. I just meant like if you're a member, I just put a Mary emoji there. So put a Mary in the chat. I'm gonna have to put on. Okay, so side tangent as per usual. So there was this. Do you know who Girl Defined is? They suck. Like they suck. No. Okay, if anyone knows who, a
stink bug.
If anyone knows who Girl Defined is, oof, I'm sorry, but regardless, so there was this. Like I almost think it was like on a DVD, and it was for some conference or something. And Michelle won like Mother of the Year or Woman of the Year or some kind of award. And so a bunch of people came together and they did this like whole thing on camera where everyone was thanking Michelle, and Girl Defined was in it, but it was before they were famous. And it's just like, thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. And so like people, it's like a meme now in like the Fundy community where they're like, really? Thank you, Michelle. Like even that channel that I watch, Fundy Fridays, they're also from Missouri. I think they have like a t-shirt that says thank you, Michelle. And I'll have to find the video and show it to you. But anyway,
I'd actually like to talk to them, but
Girl Defined? Oh, you don't know who they are. No. The Duggars?
No. Fundy Fridays.
Oh, Fundy Fridays. Oh, I would love to talk to them, but I'd probably rather talk to them without you. Anyway.
Actually, I would like to see a conversation between you and them without.
Yeah. Well, I need to figure out what I'm doing first, but it's very feasible that I could run into them at some point.
Yeah.
And I don't really care. I mean, like I care as I'm like, oh, that's cool. But anyway, I'm not going to say that on live stream. Anyway, but they're cool. They're cool. I really
the them. Shiny happy people. Yeah.
Shiny happy people. Yes. I started trying to watch the second season the other day again, like 2 days ago, and then I just forgot. But it has Amy in it.
It does.
But it's not about the Duggars. It's about Acquire the Fire, which was before I was even born. So I wasn't really.
And I never went to it.
So, but there's a lot of people that have been like, oh, I see myself in that video, like that have been watching it.
Now there could be some videos out there of me or you in different, not Acquire the Fire or anything like that, but different conventions and different classes and stuff like that.
I doubt it, but I did go to a lot of I went to this thing called like CIY when I was a kid, and we also did Ignite at your old college and some stuff, but it wasn't too bad. I mean, the biggest criticism that I have of the specific events that I went to, because they weren't that bad, was a thing that a lot of people say about like Christian camps and events and stuff is that they'll have like a cry night. And they try to make you feel like you're this terrible sinner when the most you've probably ever done is like flick the bean, and like they're like, I'm going to hell. You know what I mean? Like it's dumb. So it's like they make you feel like a piece of shit basically when you're a teenager and you haven't even done anything yet. Like
I went to one where I was actually kind of turned off by the experience because the kids that I was with, and I didn't really know these kids, but I was with them for whatever reason, and it was like when I saw them at church or whatever, they were just regular kids, but then when they went there, it was like they were constantly crying and constantly like having these emotional breakdowns, and it wasn't even like things weren't even really going on that were like emotional or serious at that point yet.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I felt like they were playing a part or trying to act a certain way. It was just very odd. That was the one time I've gone to anything.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It also depends on who you're going with and stuff. But I remember at like every single time, like, oh, I'll have to text her about this afterwards. She's about to get married in like a week or so. But a really close friend of mine back in the day, her and I would always get into a fight whenever we would go to like away camp together.
Always.
Like, I mean, like the most dramatic shit. Like, it was ridiculous. I remember there was this one time. I don't think she'll be mad at me for sharing this. It's okay. We both had a crush on the same boy, but I had a crush on that boy for like 6 years. And so I thought, because I've had a crush on him longer, that means that I have like priority, which is not how that works, y'all, at all. But I like, yeah. So anyway, but then she got a crush on this other guy while we were at this camp.
Yeah.
And he touched my boob on accident, I think. I think it was an accident, but I accused him of it being on purpose because I was a kid and everything's too serious.
And she was dramatic as heck.
And I was dramatic as heck. And it was during like a movie on like human trafficking too. So that's so anyway, we're like in this like courtyard and there's some people, they're like playing volleyball, they're enjoying themselves. And I just remember that like the kid I had a crush on and me and her were there and she was saying something. I don't even fucking remember, but we were screaming at each other in this courtyard and everyone could hear it. Like, I don't remember what it was about at all other than like this guy like touching my boob or something. And then like, oh, it was so dumb. Anyway, sorry. You guys are getting lore that Alora hasn't even thought of for like,
oh my gosh.
5 years.
If anybody's watching this that knew Alora as a kid,
I'm sorry. I was a pain. I was not fun to be around until I was like in my mid-20s.
My friend used to hate going to Walmart with you because you would just pop off and just say the wildest, craziest things at
What
Walmart.
friend? You don't have to say their name, but what does it start with?
M. You know.
Okay. Deaf or had a kid that I was friends with?
Had a kid.
Or the girl.
Yeah.
She's so pretty now. The girl.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm sure she probably couldn't stand me.
Well, it was she would like die of embarrassment. I mean, she would just be like, oh my gosh, you will not believe what your daughter said. I'm like, yeah, she was too. I believe it.
But the funniest thing is that we didn't hang out with them past the age of me being like 5 or 6. So like all this is when I was a kid. I can think of one thing in particular that I'm not going to say on camera, but I remember I said that to her.
I know.
And it was about you. It was about you.
Oh wait, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
You've done so many.
I remember one time her husband beat my ass. Like he beat my fucking ass. I was like, you can't do that. You're not my dad. So he called dad. He's like, hey, can I beat your daughter's ass?
He was a highway patrolman.
Not for very long after that.
Anyways.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm just going off on. I feel like every week you guys get to hear like different like horrible things that I did as a child or like.
Oh, we haven't even touched the surface.
No, I was literally like a little devil. It wasn't even funny. Like
I will tell you, since Christmas is coming up, Laura did. She used to always.
Is it the Santa thing?
Yeah, people would always wish you like Merry Christmas, and I hope Santa brings you something really awesome or whatever. And she'd be like, Santa's dead.
The context is when I was like a child, like little kid, there's a picture of me and Santa.
A baby.
And I'm like you can tell, like I'm terrified.
Oh no.
Oh, stop. Dude, I actually have had such an interesting life in my 25 years. There's so much shit you could put on there. Oh my god. So anyway.
Me too.
I dare you to do it. No, anyway. It can't be any worse than someone else's
okay, yeah,
page. Anyway. Anyway, so yeah, so I was terrified of Santa, and I remember I was
terrified of Santa,
and
the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, anything.
So I was like, lock our doors.
Yeah. She's like, no one is coming into our house.
So they're like, sweetheart, they bring you gifts. I'm like, no. It's like, I don't want the Easter Bunny. I was like, why does a bunny lay eggs? I don't want that. Like, no, I don't want no part of that. So I was like, you lock the doors. We don't have a chimney, but you figure it out. Okay, no Santa's coming up here. And eventually they're like, okay, Laura, you're terrified. They're not real. Oh, okay. So then dad being dad, he was like, yeah, so Santa was invented to take attention away from Christ, even though you were going to have me believe in Santa until I freaked out. But anyway, invented to take attention away from Christ. So I took that so literally. I rebrand. I took that so literally. And so I would run around to all the little kids at my school and be like, Santa isn't real. Your parents are lying to you. They hate you. They're trying to take the Christ out of Christmas. Santa is dead. I was like, he was the real person, but now he's dead. And your parents are liars. And the parents would get so mad at me. I'm sure they probably talk to you and stuff.
Oh yeah. And
so mad.
And even the Sunday school teachers, they're like, you have got to stop.
But listen, I don't want kids. But if something happened and I accidentally got pregnant, I'm not teaching my kids about Santa. Screw that. I hope they don't run around telling other kids that he's not real.
But she also used to, the clerks at the store. My friend would be with us, and the clerks at the store would be like, I hope Santa brings you something good. And she'd be like, Santa.
And I'm sure some of those people probably still remember some kid coming up to them one day and be sure like, they do. Santa is dead. Anyway, that had nothing to do with this. But you know what? I'm sure that the Duggars would agree with me on that. And I don't want the Duggars to agree with me on anything. I'm so sorry, rebrand. Yeah, my bad.
We went on a tangent.
As per usual. I mean, what else do you expect from an Into the Weeds podcast?
Hey, we go into the weeds.
We go into the weeds. We smoke the weeds. Hey, look. Weeds. There we go. I made a cute little intro, but I didn't finish it. And
seriously, Stink Bug, she would literally like
you don't understand. It was bad.
She was ready to press charges on them, literally.
Like, we're gonna call the cops because I was always told stranger danger. And then I remember when I was a little older, like a little too old to be saying this, I'd be like, yeah, Satan, Santa, just rearrange the letters. And I would tell like the little kids, I was like 12, and I'd be like, yeah, it's like Santa's Satan. He's a stalker. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. Who the hell is he? And I'd be like, Mom. And I'd be laughing. Anyway.
That's my kid. Okay, let's get back to this book. You got
me being such a royal terror, and then Charles is just chill.
Oh my gosh, the total opposite. I mean, she was like crazy, and he was just like happy and kind and chill.
Not anymore.
Well, he's got a chip on his shoulder now.
He's an angry man. No, it's okay. And now I'm still a pain. Rebrand says that she finished the book yesterday. Well, I can't even finish chapter 1 because I can't stop yapping. So, okay, let's see if I can. I'll just anyway.
That was loud,
intentionally so.
I know. Okay, go ahead.
I was being dramatic. It's for effect. Okay. I'm just going to start from the beginning of this page because I don't remember what I read. During filming days, I was already so emotionally drained and worn down from everything I was going through in my own personal, private, untelevised life that I just didn't have the strength left to face another problem. You'll find out more about why in the coming chapters, but for now, let's just say that my parents were in a deeply unhappy relationship, and I was trying hard to portray a shiny, happy facade. My smiles and bubbly personality masked my sadness, and my role in the TV series became a coping mechanism. Many times, I felt like I was barely holding it together, and any additional challenge seemed overwhelming. I truly felt like it was just one more thing, or like just one more thing could completely break me. I was stuck in survival mode, And even though I wanted to fight back, I simply didn't have the energy. Everything is different now. I am no longer in survival mode. I am in healing, and I am ready to share the real me with the world. My goal is to live a life true to myself, one that reflects my values and beliefs, and to offer a sincere, heartfelt apology for not doing so sooner. Ooh, he almost fell. Sorry, Oates is like moving around. Okay. Living in truth, despite the challenges it brings, is always worth it. It's worth facing misunderstandings, criticism, and uncomfortable conversations. At the heart of it all, embracing authenticity means living freely, which is a priceless freedom. All my life, I was taught to stay quiet, to keep my feelings to myself, and to just go along with whatever others wanted. As a young child, I felt invisible, like no one was listening to me or cared about what I was going through. It was as though my emotions didn't matter and my voice wasn't worth hearing. As I got older, I fell into the harmful pattern of letting others define who I was. Growing up without a healthy example of love or respect in a relationship, I didn't know what it truly meant to be treated with kindness and dignity. This lack of understanding set me up for failure when it came to dating. I found myself in relationships with men who cheated, belittled me, or had anger issues. Deep down, I thought this was all I deserved because my self-worth was so low. I didn't believe I was worthy of anything better, so I stayed in toxic situations far too long, tolerating behavior that I now see as unacceptable. Along the way, I became a people pleaser, constantly bending over backward to make others happy, even if it meant sacrificing my own well-being. Yeah, well, the first couple times it said, she said the thing, and then I was like, oh, this is going to be like annoying. Yeah, she has a shtick and she's sticking to it. Okay. I became a people pleaser, constantly bending over backward to make others happy, even if it meant sacrificing my own well-being. It wasn't until I found my voice that I began to realize how much I had been settling. It was a painful yet necessary lesson in learning how I truly deserve to be treated. When I became part of one of the most widely known reality TV shows in America, I found myself trapped once again. But this time, by the media, the outside world, with all of its judgments and assumptions, began to dictate my narrative instead of letting me own my own story. I let the media shape it for me. You know, I've been noticing this. I feel like she really inflates like how influential the Duggars were. I mean, like, yeah, it was a really popular show.
Mm-hmm.
But especially if you ask anybody now, they're like, no, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, most people have no idea who they are.
No. And like millions are like a lot. But like it's not a lot. Like it's a lot, but it's not a lot. Like a lot of people like they know who they are, maybe.
It's kind of even like Gypsy Rose. I mean, not many people in the real world actually know who she is, like at all.
Literally, I hardly ever bring up Gypsy Rose anymore because like I really don't care that much.
And most people don't know who she is.
Nobody like they're like, oh. Like the other day I was talking about CrimeCon and then I mentioned it to like this guy and he's like in his 40s probably. I don't know. He's just some dude I work with. And I was like, what did you just used to write her in prison? I was like, no. It's like, nope. No, I did not. Or else you could see my emails. No. Although I think I thought about it.
Really?
Yeah, like in like 2019, whenever the act came out. I think I thought about it, but I didn't actually do it. But yeah, me and my boyfriend at the time were like, I feel so bad for her. We like believed everything. So I don't know. I still feel bad for her in ways, but also she sucks. So
I just remember the thumbnail being on Hulu at that point.
Yeah, no. Did you ever watch it?
Not until last year.
Yeah, I watched it when it first came out, and I can literally see sitting in my ex-boyfriend's dad's house watching it on the big screen. Like,
I think it was right before I talked to people about her that I watched it.
I mean, it was a good show. I mean, if you like lies, yeah. Patricia Arquette won like a thing, and I was like, okay, real quick, another tangent.
My uncle always said that I looked like her, Patricia Arquette. I don't know why.
And my cousin always said that I looked like his little Gwyneth Paltrow. It was fucking creepy. Anyway.
Yeah, that.
But
completely different. Completely different vibes.
Okay, so side tangent. Caleb Worthy, the guy who plays Nick in The Act, he just came out with a company where it's like an AI version of like your dead relatives. Yeah, that's his company.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, tell everybody about it.
Yeah. So it's literally a Black Mirror episode from like 2013. It was like season 2, episode 1 or something like that. And he came up with a company. I don't know if he like did all the development, but I think he's like at least the face of it. And it's basically where you can like upload your dead relatives' consciousness into an AI platform and then like make them exist forever. And I'm like, that is disgusting.
That
like
it's really weird. And
death is a part of life. It sucks.
The video you sent me, I was like, oh my gosh. Basically what it is this woman having her dead mother tell nighttime stories and all kinds of creepy stuff. Oh my goodness.
And like, yeah. Sorry, I'm reading. Yes. Okay. So it was really creepy because in like the particular video they did, like I think hello, Kathleen. But yeah, I think that like the grandmother had died before the original kid was even born. And then he ended up like talking to his grandma as he was about to have a kid. Like never having even met his grandma.
Oh, I didn't.
And having this whole ass relationship with her.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't realize that.
That's what it seemed like from what I saw. So anyway, Caleb Worthy.
I forgot.
I accidentally came across one of his TikTok lives the other day, and he only had like 20 people in the thing. And so I almost like said something like, hey, have you heard about the Gypsy Rose emails? But now I'm glad that I didn't because he is going to destroy the world. I saw this thing. Actually, I think I saved the meme on my phone. And it was like, I know that everyone who watches this is not in my age range, but that's okay. So you might not get this unless you have kids that are my age. But sorry. It says former Disney stars going into tech. And it's got Bridget Mendler on the bright side. And it's got Caleb Worthy on the dark side.
I love
because
that.
she is like in space something or another.
Astro.
She has like a space company or something. So we love her. And Caleb Worthy, I'm sorry your disappointment. Like I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt over the Nick thing. I was like, oh, maybe, I don't know. But because I don't hold it against Joey King. I'm sure she probably has seen the emails. I'm sure Joey King has seen the emails.
You think so?
Oh, damn right. I don't think she's seen our videos, but I think she's heard of a couple things. She's online.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea.
Have you ever seen that cam? Like, like the cams that they do at like, I don't know if it's the Oscars or what, but it's like a glamour cam.
Yeah.
And she does the one. It's like,
oh, really?
Have you seen? I'll show you later. I'll show you later. Everyone Google Joey King Glambot. Yeah, Joey King Glambot. If you haven't seen it before. Okay. I'm starting from the top of the page again because I don't remember where I left off. For years, I wrestled with where I fit into my family, why I felt so different, and what my true purpose was. There were times when I wondered whether I would ever feel like I belonged. I'm going to cough real quick. Okay, my bad. Okay. And if I'd ever feel like I belonged. During one of the lowest points of my life, I had a conversation with a close friend and mentor. She didn't know it then, but what she said after I poured my heart out to her, I'm going to cough again. Fuck. Oopsie, my bad. Okay, sorry, y'all. I'm a mess. Okay, as per usual. Okay. She didn't know it then, but what she said after I poured my heart to her would change the course of my life. Depleted and desperate to understand why I always felt like I wasn't doing enough, staying enough, or being enough for anyone in my life, I told her that I felt like one big disappointment. I don't understand my life, I told her, feeling utterly lost. Without missing a beat, she looked right at me and with remarkable compassion said something I'll never forget. Amy, you're not afraid to question what you've been taught. You're bold. confront evil head on. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. You are doing God's work. She said those words with such conviction that I began to realize my willingness to question and stand up for the truth might not be a flaw, but a strength, an essential part of who God created me to be. For so long, I had struggled with the pressure to conform to what was expected of me, especially when it came to my family and my faith. I had questioned everything, yet doubted whether questioning was okay or if it made me less of a believer. You are not a mistake, she continued on, looking straight into my eyes and my soul. You are a holy disruptor. There you go. In that moment, her words reminded me of something crucial. God doesn't make mistakes. He created me with purpose, with courage to ask hard questions. That conversation was a turning point for me because I realized being a holy disruptor doesn't mean rejecting God or his truth. Being a holy disruptor, you're right, I should take a shot every time she says it, means standing up against practices and beliefs that are harmful, even when they are presented as being in accordance with the character of Jesus. I'm looking at the rest of this page and I would be smashed with your one hitter. Oh, here you go, Joy. With your one hitter, watch Ancient Aliens, and every time they say ancient astronaut theorists, take a hit. Take a hit. You'll have a good night.
Ancient astronaut theorists say yes.
But it's like, who's an ancient? Like anybody can be an ancient astronaut theorist. Mm-hmm. Who is that? Some random guy in our basement said.
Hey, we are in our basement.
Shit. I was promised this basement. I was lured up here with a promise of this basement.
Yeah, well.
It's okay. I like my room.
I like your room too.
It's cute. I should clean it and show it off one of these days because it's cute. Only if you like titties. Okay. It's about recognizing when the traditions and rules of your own upbringing don't honor God or promote true love or peace. Sorry. Don't promote true love or peace. And then having the courage to speak out. It means challenging authority that seeks to control instead of uplift and making a conscious decision to live differently. A holy disruptor is someone who sees things as they are, calls out what's wrong, and commits to personal growth and well-being. It's about acknowledging the truth and the harsh realities of the world and taking a stand against its injustices, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular. A holy disruptor is someone who sees things as they are, calls out what's wrong.
It's just a quote. I don't know why they did that.
Okay, cool. I get to reread what they said. When I was a little girl, I put my family on a pedestal. As I became a teenager, I didn't think for a second that there were any secrets or hidden struggles in our family. Growing up, I believed the image my Duggar family portrayed to the world. It was the truth. I was living in a bubble, but I never questioned it. I assumed everything was as it appeared and looked. I almost have to pee again too. Okay. I assumed everything was as it appeared and took what my uncle told me at face value. I thought perfection existed, and I believed that's exactly what the Duggar family represented. The ideal family with no flaws or issues, perfect harmony. I had bought into that image completely because I wanted that dream to become my reality someday. But then one day, everything came crashing down. Sorry. While the Duggar house seemed perfectly run and my cousins perfectly behaved, a very dark secret cloud was hovering just out of sight. All was not as perfect as it seemed on a television screen. Have you ever seen Jim Carrey? Seen the Jim Carrey movie, The Truman Show? For most of the film, Truman thinks his manufactured televised life is normal and everything is happy-go-lucky. Until the day he literally hits the wall of his artificial universe and realizes that his entire existence has been a lie. A very public lie. I hit the wall too. And only then did I truly realize that I wasn't meant to blend in or stay quiet. I was meant to disrupt, to question, and to lead others toward a better, more honest way of living. Discarding the old crazy cousin Amy persona and embracing the role of a holy disruptor has taught me that I have value, my voice matters, and my boldness is a gift. Because I wasn't meek and mild, my ability to be different protected me from a lot of evils, including being sexually abused. I am beginning to see myself through a lens of resilience and grace, especially in moments when it feels like difficult to go against the grain and stand up for what I think is right. What have I had to stand up against? You're about to find out. I'm here to tell the truth about what I have been through and to push myself to my limits and to force myself to confront parts of myself and my past that I would prefer to leave buried. This is me, the true me, the funny, confident character who viewers saw on the show was actually a frightened girl who felt manipulated and powerless. I often found myself going along with whatever the producer told me to do or hinted that I should do because it would make good TV. The show was such a whirlwind that I never even stopped to consider what I truly wanted or how I was being portrayed. For those of you who are annoyed with me or even hated my character on the show, I get it. I'm not here to change your mind. The damage has already been done. Instead, I'm here to offer an apology. I'm sorry I didn't speak up for myself when I should have. I'm sorry I felt so weak. I'm sorry that I wasn't who I really am. Here's the truth. The real Amy Duggar, the woman God created me to be, is not someone who stays silent. I'm not someone who just goes with the flow or lets things slide in order to protect wrongdoings, at least not anymore. I've learned that my voice matters, and I've realized that staying quiet doesn't help anyone, least of all myself. I know who I am today. I am a holy disruptor. And you will see in the following pages that I won't be quiet anymore. I will no longer conform to the systems and patterns that distort God's truth, even when my family is involved. It's the only way to truly live in peace.
Okay, that is a lot.
That is a big first chapter. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on it?
No, I mean, I'm thankful that she's willing to open up and tell us what she thinks. I find
Do you think it's just a cash grab?
I don't know because I don't know anything about Amy. I would assume, it's easy to get your story out there when you have the connections and everything. Yeah. And I'm not going to fault her for doing that. And, I mean,
we're sitting here reading it, aren't we?
Yeah. And I mean, I've got a wild, crazy life. And one day, well, my life's not over, so let's see what happens.
Joy, from what I understand, I don't think she did. I don't think anybody except for Jim. That's where we need to have an issue with TLC.
Mm-hmm.
Because once those people were like adults and they could sign their own contracts, there is no reason why they should have been funneling everything through Jim Bob. Yeah. That is like completely inappropriate. That is something they are completely responsible for.
I agree.
And from what I understand, I don't think that she ever got paid for anything. I don't. At least not for a very long time, if she ever did. Yeah, that was just like a question, like it wasn't like an accusatory thing. Yeah, no, like I don't, again, like we're sitting here and we're reading her book, I don't have an issue with it. And even like as far as cash grabs go, we all need to pay our bills. We all need money. Money makes the world go round. I'm not really mad about somebody for writing a book about their life, especially if they've had interesting things happen, and I don't care. It was just more of like
no, I've seen the criticism online, especially like in Reddit and different other platforms. I've seen, a lot of conversation about her wanting to make money off of all of this.
I've only thing, okay, so I do see. And again, I don't know that much about the woman, Amy, if for whatever reason you ever see this, which I doubt you'll see it, but regardless, I don't think it got to do this isn't anything personal. I do know that she was on like some TV show with like her husband. It was like some kind of thing. JB Flay still like his, yeah, no, he really did. And he should be legally held accountable for the stuff. No, I'm sure she hasn't made that much money off of it. Like, honestly, I tried to go to Target. I tried to go to a local bookstore. I tried to go to Walmart and none of those places even sold it. So I had to buy it on the Kindle. Yes. I have it on my Kindle, whatever. But yeah, no, I didn't mean that in like this is a cash grab. I just curious what you thought about it. Now, again, I mentioned this before. She does have an on again, off again friendship with somebody who's also in the gypsy community, and that's all I'm gonna say. And some people are kind of like about that, huh?
I said Beetlejuice.
I'm not saying that name because the only time I've ever said her name is the only time she's ever shown up in our chat. So I'm not saying it. But I have no interest in conjuring a spirit.
I don't know any of these people, and I want it to stay that way.
Yeah, no.
I would like to speak to Amy, honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem speaking with Amy. I'd probably want to do it privately.
I have reached out to Amy to see if she would come on the show before I decided to even.
Well, we're not famous enough yet.
Yeah, and that's fine. Whatever. But I mean, the fact that I knew her grandma, and her grandma was her best friend, and she was talking. Funnily enough, before I found out that she was talking about her grandma in this book, I reached out to her.
Yeah.
And asked her to come on because I knew her grandma. So I had wondered maybe if she decided not to respond to that just because of that fact.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it might be uncomfortable to talk to somebody that actually knew her.
She might not have even seen it, to be honest.
Who knows?
But
I send a lot of emails to a lot of people, and famous people or well-known people do look at their emails.
And then they say, no, thanks.
They'll say no thanks, or they'll say maybe one day, or they'll say something else. But yeah.
Once the numbers reflect what we're... No, that's okay. eBay or used, otherwise Libby. I've never used Libby. Again, I just bought it on whatever I could figure out on this thing. I don't know what
I buy Audible books because that's how I learned a lot while I was in bed recovering. Just having migraines. So I use Audible a lot, and that's how I consume a lot of my information. Yeah.
I need to read more. The only books that I have on here is something about prison reform, the Amy Duggar thing, and the Communist Manifesto. Not because I'm a communist, but just because I was curious.
Have you read it?
I read part of it, and I was like, these words are giving me a headache. Not because of like the content of it, but it's just very like, it's written very like I don't have enough smarticle particles to
philosophical kind of.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
I had this professor, Professor Peters. Dude, that dude, I could never, like, half of the things he said, I could never follow because he was speaking even way above me, and I was making like hundreds and, A's in this class. And I still couldn't follow, and even your dad couldn't follow half of what he said because of all the big words he used and the terms. And
it's like, dude, you're speaking to mostly 19-year-olds.
And we were in our 30s.
Like, damn. Okay,
yeah.
Dude.
He's actually the smartest book smart person I've ever known. Your dad's the smartest person I've ever known overall.
Just not politically. Anyway, my bad. Moving on. But yeah, so it's one of those things. Need to rest. You probably do need to get a little bit of rest. We should probably call it a night, even though I'm not going to get anywhere reading one chapter at a time.
Hey, it's all right.
But at next time,
we're hanging out, and maybe we'll do a couple during the week.
Remember when Jim Bob brought jail to the house in his final days? What's jail? Had him in a busted office chair, rolling him around camera like a fundy weekend at Bernie's.
Is that his dad? Is that who you're talking about?
Sharon, I can't recall. It's been a minute. I don't remember. JL. I don't know. But what I do know is Bill Gothard sucks. Who's the guy who ran the IBLP. I'm pretty sure it's almost defunct now, if nothing else.
Hopefully it is.
I think it is. But that doesn't mean the ideals are. And if you guys are enjoying our book reading, Something we were talking about last week that I'd be interested in looking into is the Pearls. Debbie and Michael Pearl were the ones that wrote To Train Up a Child, which is what we were talking about with the blanket training and stuff like that. And I've known people that have owned that book and who have practiced those sorts of beliefs and stuff. And
knowing that I know people who did that and not knowing that they did that.
People we sat in their home and went to their birthday parties and shit like that, knowing how bad it really was, even in other ways.
Yeah, it's extremely interesting.
Very disturbing. Something else I'm also interested in that might not be like a you and me thing. Well, I don't know. I said flicking the bean earlier and I said something else. But there's this thing. Okay, so Jim Bob and Michelle, well, I think it was Jim Bob, handed Josh a book on his wedding night.
Oh, Lord.
And it's a book on how to do things. Because obviously, if you don't know about anything, you don't really know how things work. So it basically tells you. Your eyes are watering.
Yeah, I can barely.
People are disgusting and cruel. There's fatigue. Are you okay? I think my mom needs to get a little bit of rest.
Yeah.
Blanket training so blanket training is when you take a blanket and you put it on the ground and a baby sits there, and every time they try and move off of the blanket, you hit them. And it's to just show the baby that you need to stay in your place.
I have bad allergies, guys. So usually around 9:00 is when it sets in, but it's only 7.
Yeah, so they make them stay in the place. I don't know if anyone knows. I shouldn't make a joke about that.
Yeah,
if anyone knows who Hassan Piker is, this dog. Kaya Place. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's not that. Well, it's not great. He basically shocked his dog, and it doesn't matter. Anyway, it was dumb. I'm so sorry about that. I hate to hear that. Also, yes, there's pollen, but
yeah, and I'm also like allergic to everything pretty much.
We're allergic to oats, I've decided.
Yeah, we are allergic to oats, definitely.
But he's a part of the family, so he stays. I was dying during the Daddy Duggar visits. Maybe I'm not even.
Okay, so that's who it was, Daddy Duggar. So that was Mary's husband?
I forgot. Yeah, I don't even remember what the dude looks like. I don't remember any of that.
I don't
but
either.
According to some people, it seems like Josh's whole thing runs in the family.
Yeah, and we'll get into it here. So
I pray that it was just those two.
Yeah, me too.
But
yeah, on that note, Alora, is there anything that you need to say or anything before we get off of here?
I would say that ultra conservatism is a poison.
Any kind of
conservatism.
Any kind of radical belief system can be a very big problem.
It could be a poison. Yes. And it really sucks that, I'm not making any accusations towards Jim Bob in particular or anything like that, but it seems like a lot of the people that at least started these belief systems are people that had ulterior motives and are more interested in control than anything else, more than godliness or whatever. And it's just really sad to see how these people act and the things they get away with. And I just pray that there aren't more scary stories that come out in the future. And I hope that what we've seen and the horrors that we've seen are all of the horrors that are taking place. But unfortunately, I know that's not how it is. So my heart goes out to every person that has been a victim of the IBLP or ultra conservatism or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I've heard about that a little bit. Yeah, Jim Bob. What an odd name, Jim Bob.
Yeah, I remember. Well, actually, it's funny. I knew a few people at that time in that area that had names similar to that. So, yeah.
And something else is Mary owned like an ice cream shop or something.
I remember you telling me that, but I don't remember.
And
That's creepy now that.
And she basically like lured Michelle in and hired her on because Jim Bob had a crush on her.
Really?
Yes. And Michelle was a cheerleader. She would wash cars in her bathing suits for, for money and stuff, for
I remember
the cheer
that
team and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then she gets with Jim Bob,
okay,
who initially he was taken by Michelle, and Michelle says that she doesn't remember the first time she ever met him, and he was obsessed with her from the beginning and decided that woman would be his. And so he got his mom to hire her on.
Ew.
He went in and he made his move on her.
Ew.
And it seems like he's just controlled the shit out of her ever since. And on top of that, they've even admitted that they weren't virgins on their wedding night. And then they make it to where their children can't do anything but side hug. They can't even hold hands as full-grown adults. I mean, what's her face? Jana. She's in her 30s and she just got married. And she only just moved out of her parents' property. She was underneath the umbrella of authority.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's insane. And it's like, I'm not saying that you can't have certain beliefs. I'm not trying to shit on people for, believing in being more, modest or whatever. But the way that they force this stuff upon people, it's not their own choices.
Stink bug potato. My mom was 16 when she married my dad. He was 23. She ran away from a not a foster home, orphanage, children's home thing.
Yeah, and your dad was a creep.
I believe so now. Yeah, I mean, I would never condone that kind of age gap. So
no, I'm 25, and I would never look at anybody. Yeah. So
yeah. So yeah, anyways, so I guess what we're going to do is we're going to call it for tonight.
He was dying of a brain tumor, and Jim Bob didn't even get him a second hand chair. Different time. Hospital. TLC filmed the body and funeral explained the kid. I don't even remember that.
Oh wow, no,
that's crazy. But if he was everything, I'm gonna do some research on that. And I do find it gross, but if he was everything that Amy says that he was, I don't feel that bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But also, why would you bring someone to your house that you know is like that?
Yeah.
Because you kept your son in there too?
Laura, you, while I'm gone this week, actually, maybe you can just jump on and read a couple of times this week or something if you feel inclined.
Think about it. When do you leave?
I'm not sure yet. We haven't figured out when we're going to head that way, but
hey, you have fun with your missionaries. I'll have fun with mine. So anyway, I say that like leaving out of town.
Yeah, anyways. So
rebrand, yes. Come up here, rebrand. I mean, obviously not right now because like we're doing something. Do you have rebrand's information?
Yes, I do.
Information. Yes. Yeah, let's hit each other up. I got you. Come on up here and we'll read it together. And
that'd be good.
There's also another book that I got recently, and I'm not probably gonna read it on this channel. I've talked to Uncorked with Brandy about possibly coming on.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, it can't be on this channel. It can't be on this channel.
Oh, that one. Yeah. No, it's fine. But a certain someone created a book. So, well, regardless of if I'm there or not, check out Uncorked with, I think it was formerly Uncorked with Brandy, but now I think it's In the Dragon's Den with Brandy.
I think so. Rebrand would know it.
Rebrand might know.
Yeah,
I would definitely look into that because she has been reading a book from a certain person that's not so fancy. I'm so fancy. Anyway,
I actually like that song.
Oh, I like that song too. I like that song too. And every time I hear it, I think about her.
I know.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So, anyways, and before you go, please head out and go check out Nuremberg. It's out in theaters now.
We should go watch that.
Yeah,
I'll go watch it.
Yeah, I'll actually. I think I'll just go with my friend and go watch it while we're in Atlanta.
I'll go watch it with somebody. I'll ask my boyfriend to watch it. You'll see if you can download. Okay, so even if you can't download it, just come on and we'll just talk shit and I'll just read and like how Millennial was on there the other day.
Mm-hmm. Just maybe Millennial will be available.
Maybe Millennial will be available. We'll see. I sent her a video of you. She was listening to Pimp Juice earlier.
And it was awkward as heck. I looked terrible.
Oh, that's why I only sent it to Millennial. Okay. So yeah, even if you can't get a hold of the book, that's fine. Come on up here and we'll talk about it together. We'll analyze it because you know that I yap.
Yes, she does. And yeah, Cutting Board. Yeah,
Cutting Board did a good job. I like Cutting Board. She seems real sweet. I really like her.
Yeah, and one day we'll have her on here. I've just got to find the perfect fit for her because we can't really name that person too much or talk about that person too much.
But we had talked about we were on a Zoom call type deal with her the other day, and we were talking about maybe we could talk about like the ethics of things. You know what I mean, or something. We can fit her in somewhere. I quite like Dawn. She's she's a sweetheart. So
I do as well. Okay, well, I guess I hope everybody has a blessed evening. And if you're watching on the replay, have a blessed day, night, whatever you're doing. And I just hope that you go out and do something good for today to just do something good to bless the world and change it for the better. And, make the world a better place.
At least try.
Don't be a turd.
Anyway.
Do something good. And anyways, have a blessed evening.
Don't be a put that on a t-shirt. Anyway.
Bye, everybody.
Much love. Have a good one. Bye.
Justice Jackson, they captured Herman Goring alive.
Tell me about him.
He's the face of the Nazis. I'm gonna put Goering on trial.
If it escapes the hangman's noose.
Very sure of yourself. No man has ever beaten me.
Goering has to fall.
You don't just have to win, you have to be flawless.
You're walking into a trap.
Knowing what we know now, would you still follow Adolf Hitler?
Nuremberg, rated PG-13, now playing only in theaters.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.